Hey, welcome to another Growably monthly training and live Q&A. I am coming to you live from a hot Ohio. It is here in the Midwest. It is 71 degrees here in the studio, so it's getting hot. Air conditioner should go off here in a second. Let me know where you're tuning in from and whether or not you can hear me okay. All the video and audio, all the good fun technical stuff is out of the way here at the beginning of the show. Just give me a thumbs up in the audio. That audio and video are good. You can see and hear everything. You're going to get a bright dose of orange tonight. No orange hair, but everything else is orange in the studio. That is why Nigel and I love each other. We have an affinity for orange. He happens to wear it actually on his physical body. So anyway, if this is your first time catching a live stream of the Growably training, put that in the comments too. We got a few that have showed up for the first session. Excellent first for Jordan. We got Jeff. David, I'll try to keep you awake. We'll go have a little bit of fun, keep the energy going. David's from the UK, so it is coming up on midnight for you. So Stacy said this is her second one. Glenn said be gentle, it's his first time. Good stuff. Stacy said audio's good, so obviously you guys can see and hear me okay. That is awesome. So we'll get all of that stuff out of the way first off, all the technical stuff. So let me know, too, whether or not you actually have Growably. A couple of you have mentioned that you've been, let's see, David's been working, was it David who was working on landing? Jeff was working on landing pages in Growably all day. So hard work, my friend, cutting your teeth on Growably. But if you have Growably already, give me a thumbs up in the chat as well. Yep, excellent. Signed up, but that's it so far. Glenn, Jordan said I signed in, but have done nothing with it. So we're going to hopefully change that. That's why Nigel and I have been doing. We thought it would be a good idea to do these monthly Q&A calls, live sessions. So it's going to be a mix of kind of best practices, showing you what's new in Growably, what's coming up. We're here to answer your questions, obviously. I've got some designated time at the end for questions as well. So this isn't going to be death by PowerPoint by any stretch of the imagination, because we got to keep David awake over there in the UK. Diane said, yep, signed up, but have done nothing. So that's what this call is meant to do, is to help you see what's possible, see what's coming up in Growably. Some of the features that high level, which is the based CRM, marketing automation rather, that Growably is built on, is high level. So there's been a couple updates since our last month's call. So we've got quite a few things to cover. We're going to talk about, as you saw from the opening graphic, email. We're going to cover email because that seems to be a hot topic right now. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pin this one. Diane said, is there a migration process from other CRMs such as ActiveCampaign or Keep? There is no direct migration where you can just hit a few buttons and everything just imports from Keep to high level. I made the transition myself from Keep / Infusionsoft, whatever they're calling it, Keep these days. But I've was on Infusionsoft for 4 or 5 years. I have switched internally to high level prior to the Growably rollout. So yes, I've cut my teeth and had to do that manually. Unfortunately, at this time, there is no click a button, you get a direct migration process from any of the other CRM tools out there. So that is a good question, Diane. I'm sorry that we weren't able to give you probably the answer you were looking for. But hopefully, perhaps, maybe, high level will do something about that as they continue at a breakneck pace, getting features rolled out. And Growably, obviously, Nigel's staggering the growth or the feature releases that come out from high level, just to make sure everybody has access to it and that we've run it through its paces to make sure that everything works for you awesome tribers out there. So, all right, I'm going to switch over to my slides. And again, like I said, this is not going to be death by PowerPoint by any stretch. So please keep the questions coming. I will try to answer these as we go. If you could either put them in the Q&A section or in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with. The Q&A section will allow me to, it basically allows me to tag those separately so that I make sure that I don't miss them because there's not as much activity in there as well. So let's go ahead and get cracking. We'll cover our agenda as if you've attended a couple of these trainings. We're going to cover the latest news from high level at Growably, the Tech Tribe, some of the features that have rolled out since. I think it was Jeff that asked me about the new campaign. So how many of you know about the new campaign and maybe watched last month's live session? So we're going to touch on that. I've got some updates on that new campaign as well. And then we're going to talk about email best practices. And really, this is going to set you up for success if you follow kind of these general guidelines to keep yourself out of the spam filter, to keep yourself getting booted out of the Growably platform for spamming people. I've got some best practices to follow for that and some help articles that we can lead you to as well. So again, keep the questions coming. Again, those of you just joining us, thank you so much for tuning in live. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to have some Q&A time at the end where we're going to do some rapid fire question and answer. If those of you are still hanging out, like I said, hopefully we keep those folks from the UK alive and awake. Okay, so let's talk about the latest news from High Level / Growably. One was the calendar updates. What I'm going to do is switch back and forth between slides, and I'm actually going to show you some of the things that were released since we did our last Q&A session last month. So let me go ahead and switch over to this screen here. I'm going to dig into Growably, and again, if you're watching this on the replay, you can easily follow along. I'm going to show you. So how many, put it in the chat too, how many of you are actually using the calendar feature? I know there's some new folks here, but how many of you actually have an online calendaring system that you may be using right now, like Calendly or Microsoft Bookings? There's just so many now. Jeff said, not yet using Calendly. Yep, I was Calendly. I've switched everything into high level. Stacy's using Bookings. Glenn's using Calendly. That's a super popular one. I was a huge Calendly fan. Not that I'm still not. Everything's just integrated into my CRM now. So Mark said Bookings for his website. Diane says Appointment Core. Yes, I've used that. So Cal says the resolution's looking bad for him. Anybody else? Let me know. Camera resolution's a little bad. So, okay, let's see if we can't up the resolution on that. So let's do some troubleshooting in Zoom. So can't imagine letting anyone add appointments to my calendar. Yeah. Stacy said it's 7:20 for her. Let me go just see real quick here. Anybody else experiencing issues? Let me know. Yeah, so I've got, let me go ahead and stop video and come back in here as well. All right, so let's go ahead and go full screen. Let me know if you can see that as well. If you're able to see this screen, which is just Growably. I took my camera off. Let me know if that has improved for you as well. I'll always love troubleshooting tech issues with, yep, Glenn said better, still a little rough. It's blurry, but better. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for letting me know, though, because I don't want to get all the way through this. So let's do this. I'm trying to think of what we can, just give me a second, folks. Diane said, yep, agreed. It's readable. I want you guys to be able to see this. I'm doing 2 recordings, too. I'm doing a local recording, so hopefully if we miss anything, those of you watching on the replay, we've got a little easier to read. So let me do a couple things in Zoom here to see if I can go into... That's why I love Zoom. I just contacted them the other day, and we should be streaming in HD, which is really weird that we're not. Yep, it looks like we got HD checked for my screen resolution. So thanks for bearing with me, folks. Let me see if I can make this any better for you. All right, just give me 1 minute. All right, let's just, any better for anybody? Video states a resolution 640 by 360. Wow, that's horrible. See if we can, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and stop my video and see if we can share screen and see if this is going to be any better for us. Let me know if this is better for you, if you can actually see. Let me move a couple windows out of here. Let me know if you can actually see this a little bit better. I just did a share screen. We'll see if this is any better. I lost my chat window. Where do we go? Yep, it says it's flickering. It says this is worse. All right, great. Love Zoom. All right, so let's go ahead and stop screen share. Sorry for this, guys. Go ahead and stop share. And got to be able to see what we're teaching here. All right, let me know if this is any better. I just flipped the the other screen. I know you guys we're losing time here. I want to be. Okay, so Diane said go back to the original. It was good. Anybody else? Let me know if that is better for anybody. Yeah, Yeah, I'm sitting on a gigabit internet connection. So I'm probably. Yeah, it could be just a Zoom issue on our side, but yeah, if everybody gives me a thumbs up, let me know if it's readable. Yeah, Tom, is there MSP in the house? For sure. Okay, David said this should work, so yeah, we're going to be sharing the recording for sure. And like I said, I'm doing a local recording of this as well, which should be in full HD, so... All right, everybody says, let's just move on. Let's pretend it's 95. So, all right, let's just go ahead and rock and roll and get going here. Okay, so let's go back to what we were talking about. We were talking about calendar updates. So let me just show you one of the things that was enabled. We switched to different. I may not have it enabled on this account. Yeah, so here's Rusty McGregor's. One of the things that they did was allow you the ability to block time on your calendar. So you can add blocked off time. So that was one of the features that was updated. And you can actually do this for your team. If you have a team calendar, you can have that ability as well. So that was one of the features that I liked, and I wanted to make sure that we briefly covered that for those of you who might be using the calendar function inside of Growably. So, all right, so I'm going to flip back to our slides and cover the next thing we're going to talk about is calendar updates, and then we're going to talk about workflow. And this was a nice thing that if those of you who are familiar with workflows and inside of Growably, let me go back to my full screen here. One of the things they did inside of automation was the ability to have you pull somebody out of a campaign if they're already in a different campaign. Let's just see here. Let's just go into this one here. So if I click on the little plus symbol here, I can add if I search for if-else statements, and then I go down in here to workflow contact. So somebody who enters a workflow, you can actually see if they're active in other workflows. So if you have somebody who's downloaded a lead magnet or is in a different workflow, you're able to pull them out of that workflow so that they're not perhaps getting duplicate messages. So that to me was a super feature that I was happy to see because it required a lot of extra steps inside of the workflow to make sure that somebody wasn't duplicated inside of a workflow or maybe perhaps was in a different one that was really similar. So I really like that. So David asked a question, does this mean we can get rid of Calendly and use Growably for booking appointments with potential clients? Yes. I've been doing that. I switched off of my Calendly account. All my calendaring is done inside of Growably or High Level at this point. So Stacy said, my problem with Growably Calendar is that I have 3 Office 365 calendars and I need to use that for blocking, and Growably seems to work best with Gmail. It's got the tightest integration right now. That's one of the things Nigel and I keep pushing for, is better integration with Office 365. They're getting better with that. It's gotten better since I've switched to High Level, but that is something that, to look at. You may not want to jump off of Office 365 calendars yet, but it is coming to be able to have better synchronization. So I do agree with you, Stacy. The Gmail seems to be a tighter integration at this point. So let's go back here. I had one in the Q&A real quick before I move on. Somebody anonymously asked, is Growably included with the Tech Tribe membership? Yes. So you get that as part of your Tech Tribe membership. This is absolutely free to you. So you want to keep your membership because Nigel's going to be charging for this at some point, but it is free right now. Okay, so let me go back here to our next topic is the chat. How many of you I've seen lots of people saw Nigel's video, I think it was yesterday, and it enabled the chat feature on your websites. Give me a thumbs up, or what the heck is the chat feature, because I'm going to show you that right now. But yeah, just let me know if you've messed around with the chat feature or have it on your website as right now as well. Yep, Stacy said chat running since mid last week. So awesome. Excellent. Anybody else? Chat running awesome for Jeff. So excellent. And those of you who missed the video, I'm going to go ahead and paste this in the chat as well. If you've missed and you want to watch our fearless leader, Nigel, make the announcement about the chat feature and how to get it set up. But basically where you're going to go is inside of Sites. You're going to click on Sites, and then you're going to come up here, and then the chat widget is there right now. So Jordan says he's using another tool for chat. Perfectly fine. This is another option that you have. And there is a WordPress plugin to be able to connect this with your WordPress site as well. So all the changes you make in here will get automatically published over to your website pretty instantaneously. So, okay, so that's chat. And how many of you have Twilio? I know that is one of the things that has gone up on the forums in the last day or so is about Twilio. So you will need a Twilio account in order to make that chat function work to be able to do SMS. So I'm going to put this in the chat real quick as well. And all of this is going to be in the Tech Tribe post as well. So this is the direct link on how to set up Twilio. Twilio basically is your going to provide functionality for doing phone dialing and text messaging from inside of Growably. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got that enabled to be able to fully utilize the SMS features of Growably if you plan on it. Some folks over in other countries, UK, Australia, it's not quite as popular as it is here in the States, but a lot of people are using SMS in addition to their other email marketing as well. So anybody else using SMS texting in your marketing campaigns right now, let me know in the comments too. So Nigel and I are always curious to see who's using it, who's not. Let's see here. And then the last one, as far as latest news, I'm going to go see. Let's see if Rob is on the call here. I don't see Rob Ellis. Rob Ellis, if you're here or watching this, give me a shout out. So Rob raised this as well, so I wanted to let you know. Let me go back here. So website templates. That is another feature that Nigel and I are working furiously on for that as well. Rob asked if there's going to be website templates made available inside of Growably, especially for like landing pages and things. We're working on functionality that allows you to have sections and website templates so you can quickly and easily be able to create templates for like calls to action on your pages, all of those things. That is in the works. Nigel actually made the I think he let the cat out of the bag here. Yeah, he let everybody know that we're working on that right now. Nigel and I had a meeting last week, and that is in process. And this is me right now trying to make all of this happen for you great folks. Mark says he will not use SMS marketing. It's far too intrusive. And again, just to each his own, but it's available to you inside of here. Stacy says, I hate it, but I may dabble. So again, totally up to you, but it's a function that is built right into your Growably account. So, okay, so that's it for the latest news on what has transpired, what has changed since last month's session. Now let's get into talking about who asked me about that campaign. Was it Jeff? I got to scroll all the way back. So thank you guys so much for keeping engaged. I know it's 7:22 here on the East Coast and after midnight for you folks over in the UK. So we can see who was it that was asked me about the campaign. So put that at the bottom. So yep, it was Jeff. Okay, good. I thought it was you, Jeff. So the new campaign, how many of you watched last month's session and know anything about the campaign that we talked about on last month's session? For those, Jeff obviously knows, we have a campaign that we're going to be rolling out. Nigel and I have a call tomorrow night to put the finishing touches on a few things that we have to do to be able to roll this out for everybody. So that will be coming forthwith. So stay tuned for that. That is a campaign that's going to be a full campaign. You're going to have the lead magnet itself. You're going to get the Canva templates for the lead magnet. You're going to get Canva templates for display banner ads, social media posts, as well as all of the emails built out for you. And then you're basically just going to have to go in and make a few edits. We have those clearly marked, and Nigel and I are going to put the finishing touches tomorrow night, and then we got to record some training videos so everybody knows exactly how to use this. But yes, it is coming. So thank you very much, Jeff and others who are very patient with us. This has been a very lengthy process trying to, I think we're over 1,000 tech tribers that have access to Growably. And Nigel's been working day and night to get as many people on Growably as we can before we hit the button to be able to push this out so we're not duplicating work. Because as you can imagine, this is a lot of work to roll this out to 1,000 Growably and possibly 3,000 of you great tech tribers. So it is coming, Jeff. Please be patient. It is coming very soon. That's all I can tell you right now. Very, very soon, sooner than it was last month. So thank you so much for your patience. That's all I can tell you right now. Nigel told me not to put a date on anything, but hopefully we've got some more news for you, perhaps later in the week, as to a tentative launch date for that. Okay. So Jeff said patiently waiting. Thank you so much, Jeff. I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, that we got to wait a little bit longer, but just be patient with us. You guys are going to this is just the tip of the iceberg, this campaign right here. We have so much coming that you guys are going to lose your mind when you find out all of the things we got coming. So stay tuned. All right, now let's get into kind of a topic that is kind of hit the forums. How many of you have sent out email campaigns out of Growably already? Give me a show of hands. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, whatever, in the chat to let me know whether or not you've sent emails out of Growably already. So I'm going to take a drink while we do that. Yep, Stacy said yes, she has. Cal has not yet. Anybody else? David, not yet. Okay. And again, it's actually good. Rick said not yet. So what I want to cover is a few things that is going to make this process better for you and better for everyone in the tribe. Glenn hasn't done that as of yet as well. So let me cover a few, and I'm going to put these in the chat right now, and we're just going to go over these. Nigel asked me to cover these on the call. So I'm going to put this in the chat so that you guys and girls have reference to this, and then I'm going to pull it up on the help site as well. Okay, how does email sending work inside of Growably? If you've not attended any of the previous sessions that we've done, and if you haven't gone through any of the training yet, Infusionsoft, Keep, ActiveCampaign, all of the other CRMs force you to use their SMTP service, their sending service for all your emails. The unfortunate thing that happens with that, and I found that this is one of the biggest reasons that I moved off of Keep, was deliverability of my emails was crushed because of other people just spamming the crap out of people. They upload a list that they don't have permission to send to, start spamming people, get the blacklisted. We did just all kinds of nightmare scenarios. So basically, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. So it has the potential for corrupting that. So High Level or Growably has decided that early on they wanted to eliminate that process or give you the option as the MSP to be able to... let me flip over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So this is the article I just posted in the chat. So Growably has the ability for you to add your own SMTP service. You do have the option of sending out, I think Nigel said, I think it's 2,000 emails, but it's going to come from growably.com. So when you use the built-in service for Growably, it's actually going to send the emails from Growably, just as if you were sending from Infusionsoft or Keep. You'll notice that you're using their SMTP services. So that's one of the things that I recommend. Mailgun is the most popular. I think the SMTP to go was another one. How many of you have an SMTP service that you preferably use right now? And I can let you know whether or not that will work with Growably or not. So yeah, Rick says SMTP to go. So perfect. Okay, excellent. So another yes, SMTP to go. Mailgun set up and not use it for Tom. Let's see here. Diane said, I'm still unable to add staff to Growably as they created it separately instead of a staff member. Their support is not fast as there's still an issue. So we're talking. Okay, who do we escalate issues to that we're taking a while to resolve? If you're not getting resolution, Diane, email help@growably.com. That should go to Nigel's internal team, so that maybe we can just do a spot check of the white label service that Nigel is using for Growably support. So. But yeah, so if you don't, reach out to me too, Diane, if you don't see resolution on that. I'll get you in touch with Javier and maybe some of the others who might be able to help, escalate this up where it needs to go. So I apologize for that issue. But thank you so much for letting us know. Okay, quite a few. Jeff says Mailgun, Jordan's using SendGrid. So that's good that you guys have that set up. So you'll want to keep reference to this article. You obviously know how that works, but Nigel wanted me to cover this on the call tonight. And I'm going to put in another one here. I'm going to put it in the chat first. Let me put that in the chat. And then I'm going to bring that up over here so that you folks can see that too. So if aren't sure what SMTP services to use, here's all of the ones that work with Growably or High Level. So again, you've got reference to that, and then there's instructions on how to get those set up as well. But yes, so that's the first thing, is covering what you're going to need to have as far as tools, and then let's see here. So those of you who have Mailgun, it looks like you guys already have that set up, just not used yet. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. So those of you who are watching too, how do I set up Mailgun? Again, Nigel wanted me to put these in the video so that those of you who are watching after the fact can get to this. And again, if you're watching this inside the Tech Tribe forums, we're going to put these links in the post as well, so you can make reference to these. Mailgun, I've had great success using Mailgun, much better deliverability than I ever had with Infusionsoft since we switched to our own SMTP service. But I can't recommend Mailgun enough. I'm not bashing the others. There's tighter integration with APIs and things with Growably, high level with Mailgun. But the others will work. There is a couple caveats to Mailgun. So David, I think if I still got you awake, here's one of the ones. If you set up your domain in the EU region, it won't work. If you aren't able to set up your domain in the US due to GDPR, you'll want to go to option number 2, which is the direct SMTP method. So I just wanted to clarify that. Those of you who happen to maybe watching this over in the UK and are dealing with GDPR. So Diane, great question. Is there a cost for all SMTP services? If so, why can't we integrate to Office 365? That is a great question. So David said, yes, thanks for pointing that out. So Diane, let me just make reference to that real quick here. That is a great question. So what you want to prevent, though, if you're doing marketing and marketing services from Growably, which obviously is what you're using it for, one of the things as you go through the support materials and some of the help articles is we don't recommend using your base level domain. Like I don't use orangenomad.com to send email from. You want to use a subdomain to be able to send that, just to keep everything, because as you know, Office 365 can be quite temperamental, and a lot of times they'll not like it when you're sending out bulk emails. A lot of that will end up in spam much quicker than using your own SMTP service. But that is a great question. But yes, I believe you can use 365 if you want to, but it's not recommended. And like I said, the reason being is when you're sending bulk messages, when you're sending campaigns, you may get in the trick bag with Microsoft over you trying to use your Office 365 account. But that is a great question, and I know that we're all concerned with costs, keeping costs down. But again, you do have, I think it's 2,000 emails included to be able to send with your Growably account, but you'll just have to keep in mind that is going to come from growably.com. So it's going to come from the Growably servers. So I'm going to get to another couple things here, which references back so that fellow tribers don't get themselves in trouble or pollute the pool, like maybe Infusionsoft Active Campaign and some others did. So Diane says, yes, thanks. We'll follow your recommendations. Look for a paid service. They're not super expensive, Diane. So just letting those of you who are using SMTP to go, let me know what the monthly cost is for you folks using that, just so I can get an idea. I haven't looked into it. My Mailgun account, I think I get 50,000 emails a month to be able to process through that, and I'm using multiple domains with that as well. And I think I pay like $35. So again, it's not going to break the bank. Rick said $10 for SMTP to go. And I know a lot of MSPs have had great success with SMTP to go. So for $10, Diane, I mean, you'll definitely want to go that route if you're going to be able to invest in marketing. That way that's set up and you can just do everything outside of your base domain. That's highly recommended. Again, it's best practices pretty much across the board. If you're using any type of CRM service, they recommend not using your base level domain to do your marketing emails from. So Glenn said, yeah, 50,000 emails a month is $25 on their website for SMTP to go. So there you go. Yep. Diane said, yep, on their site, SMTP to go is $15 for 40,000 emails. That's a lot of emails, especially if you're just getting started. So my opinion, it's pretty cheap. Okay, I'm going to go over here, make sure we're covering all of the bases that Nigel wanted me to cover on this call. Excellent. So here's another question that comes up quite frequently, and I know that a couple folks have had a few issues sending emails out of Growably. So let me bounce back over to here as well. Let's put this in chat real quick so you guys have this. Jordan, where's everyone getting lists from? I'm going to cover that in a minute and make some recommendations under our email best practices, Jordan. So I'm going to give you some tips for that. So Yep. So $10 for 10,000 emails, Rick said. So Diane said, thank you. Okay, let's bounce back over. This is going to be a common one, again, that comes up quite frequently. And this is going to touch on a hot topic, I think, for folks trying to do marketing. Can I send cold emails through Growably? It's quite clear here, not through the Tech Tribe or Growably's email or Mailgun account. So you're not allowed to send cold emails through Growably Mailgun account, including if you purchased or rented an email list from a list broker. And the reason being is you run the potential of corrupting and getting the Growably servers blacklisted, and that ruins it for everybody else. So Nigel's made that pretty clear. And again, this isn't just Nigel saying this. All of them don't want you doing this. Keep Infusionsoft tell you that you shouldn't do this. Nigel's just being very specific for if you want to send emails, cold emails, use your own Mailgun account so that you don't ruin it for everybody else. Just keep that in mind. And I'm going to cover some best practices so that keep you out of running into those issues. Because I'm going to go back to full screen here to cover that article. So if you're sending emails through the Growably Mailgun account, you must have express permission by the recipient with a clear, explicit, and probable consent. This consent should be granted through a confirmed single or double opt-in system that clearly expresses the topic of the subscription on an online or offline form via an unmarked by a default checkbox. If every abuse complaint is ever received from a recipient, the Tech Tribe is going to look into that. And if you don't have verifiable proof that you had consent to send that email, your Growably account may be canceled. And then that's not what anybody wants. So Nigel asked me to be very clear with this topic here this month about sending cold emails. And since that has come up for a couple tribers already using Growably, and it's not just Growably, I've seen. I've had a couple tribers that have gotten in the past, they upload a cold email list using MailChimp, and MailChimp shuts their email off within a day or so. And this is why. It's just following these best practices that I'm going to cover right now. So again, this is about keeping everything safe for everybody and making sure that you have marketing success. And by following these tips that I'm going to give you right now, this can go a long way to generating success using your marketing, using email marketing. So any questions before I move on to our email best practices? I'm going to take a drink, and then we're just going to go kind of rapid fire through these. And then I'm going to do some open Q&A if you want me to show you things inside of Growably that you might have questions on. This is not going to be a full training, but I can show you where to go get started with the training for those of you who are just getting started or maybe just got access to your Growably account. So is everybody with me so far? Just give me a thumbs up in the comments. Let me know if the videos got any better as well. I'm going to have to look into that. So all right. Let's go back to our slides here. So I've got a couple thumbs up from Jordan and Jeff. Thank you guys. Okay, so let's go rapid fire through our email best practices. And again, some of these you're going to maybe have heard before, but I want to reinforce these, just so that everybody's on the same page. Let me just move a screen here real quick here so I can see what I'm talking about here. So first one, obviously, and Nigel made that very clear, is obtain permission first. And I have a lot of people question as to, should I buy a list? Should I source a list? Jordan, that's a common question. I have bought lists in the past. I've done it. Starting an MSP, I bought a list and then tried cold emailing people, and guess what happened? Lots of spam requests, and I was using MailChimp at the time, and I got kicked out of MailChimp. And it's because I did not have permission to send them that email. So buying a list from a Chamber of Commerce or some other broker and then trying to email them, it's not a good recommendation. And let me make a side note here for those of you who know I do LinkedIn training. This is one of the touchy areas I get to with LinkedIn. Just because someone connected with you on LinkedIn and you may have access and you might see an email address in their contact information, that is not express permission to send them emails. Some people don't mind it, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend sending cold emails to your LinkedIn connections just because this is a quick way to get you in trouble. And I've seen people that do that. I personally don't necessarily like it. If I connect with somebody on LinkedIn and they immediately add me to their newsletter list, I did not ask for that. So you'll have a lot of people, and I've seen comments galore on LinkedIn about people who don't necessarily appreciate that. So I wanted to make that clear in this training too. Just because you're connected with somebody on LinkedIn is not express permission to send them emails. Your whole intent is trying to get them to what we're trying to give you, which is a lead magnet or booking an appointment on your calendar. Then they go into Growably. Then guess what? Now you have permission to send them an email because they have provided that information to you. So I wanted to make that really clear on that. So that's the whole point. Get permission first. And those of you, David, if you're over in the UK, you know GDPR, all of those fun regulations. You could end up in the trick bag very, very quickly doing that. So that's the first one. Obtain permission first. So let's go to the second one. Jordan, this is to answer your question. Don't purchase a list and start emailing people. You're going to want to scrub through that email list, get permission to send them emails before you do that. Yeah, so David said, yeah, GDPR is a lot of fun. We've got some things brewing here in the States, similar, kind of amping that up a little bit, kind of taking GDPR and making it a little bit more teeth in it. So that's coming to you folks here in the U.S. So again, just best practices, just get in the habit of doing, and again, marketing is a long game. Trying to buying a list and bulk emailing 10,000 people or 1,000 people that didn't ask for it is a quick way to end your marketing very quickly. So that's just my recommendation, and Nigel will tell you the same thing. Don't purchase an email list and then start emailing them. You're going to want to go through a process of scrubbing and getting permission first. So thanks for hanging out, Jordan. Hopefully that answered your question. And again, if you want ideas on how to do marketing, Jordan, have you anybody taken the Marketing Foundations workshop? Put that in the comments as well, whether maybe if you started it or finished it. I forgot to ask that question before we started going rapid fire on these. So, but I'm going to go ahead and continue on. Yep, Al said yes, he's finished the workshop, so that's awesome. But you're going to see, marketing is a long game, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It takes work, and there's no easy button. There's no easy button to immediately turn on the spigot and start closing business. It's a process. And all of the things we're going to be giving you inside of Growably is to help you with that process of building your list. LinkedIn is great for getting connections and getting people exposed to you and exposed to your content. But the whole intent there is they don't go on, like people I connect with on LinkedIn do not go on my mailing list unless they've booked an appointment on my calendar for a meeting. If they downloaded an ebook or a lead magnet or just anything else where they've asked for permission, that's when they go into my high level. That's when they go into my CRM. So purchasing a list, not a recommended thing to start emailing. Not saying don't purchase a list, but if you've taken my LinkedIn course, how many of you taken my LinkedIn course? You know that I'm all about building your list through LinkedIn because it's the world's largest self-updating database. So, okay. This is one, it seems like it's the same thing. So don't spam your list. And these are the people that have given you their permission to send emails to them. So whether that's somebody who's downloaded ebook, a worksheet, a template, or just whatever else, and they've opted in to receive your email, you'll want to pace things out. Don't barrage people with emails every single day, or barrage them with unnecessary emails all of the time, because that will end you. It will end prematurely your ability to send them emails, because people are going to start opting out and complaining, even though they've said, yes, I want to receive emails from you. So I know that we're giving you a marketing automation tool, and with great power comes great responsibility. So you'll just want to make sure that what you're doing is at a pace where you're not going to barrage people with emails. And you see that with Tech Tribe. Nigel's very conscious about that, not sending you folks too many emails. Even though you've opted in and you're paying for a membership, you'll notice Nigel's he's very cautious and very, I don't know what the word just left to me. He doesn't want to be, inundate your inbox. So you'll notice you don't get tons and tons and tons of emails from the Tech Tribe. And even the weekly newsletter, he's given you the option to receive that on a monthly basis. So take some of those ideas and think about that for your own list. Those people who do have their permission to email you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Make it easy to opt out. And we cover this in a training prior to this. I think it was the first call that Nigel and I did together. We cover that's going to be built into Growably, so you have an unsubscribe workflow to be able to put people in. You'll notice in Growably it's that D&D mode, and I really like the fact they've got granular. You can, whether that's email, Facebook, your other social media channels as well, where people may have opted out. So, but make it easy. I hate the ones where somebody tells you, okay, I unsubscribe from a list, and they tell me it's going to take 2 weeks. So the marketing automation tool can turn that off immediately. So make it easy for people. Okay, so scrub your list often. And that's, again, even how many of you have a list where maybe you haven't sent, and again, maybe not in Growably, how many of you have a list of people where maybe you haven't sent them an email in a while, where maybe your list is a little bit cold. I know I'm not the only one. I've been guilty of this as well. So this is going to kind of cover this one and the next point that I want to cover too. So yeah, so Stacy says she has a list that is cooling. So again, this is about kind of having a warm-up list, and this kind of goes into what my next one is. You want to reawaken inactive subscribers. David said, yes, for sure. I haven't sent a newsletter for months. So that's actually a great point, David. So what you want to do when you get your list imported, those people who you have permission to send emails to, here's my recommendation to you, is do a warm-up campaign. Is put an email in there with maybe just, not everybody that's on your list. Maybe do small subsets of maybe 100 users at a time. Especially if you've got, I think, David, what SMTP service we're using. So if you're sending these new and you set up a new domain, maybe on Mailgun or SMTP to go, you want to do a warm-up sequence to small batches of your list, just so that you build credibility with all of the internets out there for your domain. That way, if people start opening your emails and you've got a lot of good email addresses, that actually boosts the scores for your domain that you're using for your SMTP service. So that is one of the things I recommend. So if you have a list and maybe you haven't sent anything to them in a while, do small batches, or maybe over the next few weeks, just saying hi. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just saying hi, get them to respond back, so that, again, that ups the credibility of your email scores. That way you don't have people unsubscribing a bunch, or a lot of bad emails. Again, that goes back to the one we just covered, to scrub your list. So David said we were using HubSpot previously. I think we're using 365 SMTP. Don't worry, I promise I will not use 365 going forward. So, okay, no problem. Again, we're not here to throw anybody under the bus or ruin anybody's day. So, again, we just want to make it as safe as possible for you, so that you can have marketing success. That's what we're all about. Okay, so another best practice, and again, I know I'm throwing a lot at you. This is going to be available on the recording, so you can rewind and go back to this as well. Your reply to email address should be a real person. Somebody on the other end should be receiving these emails. So having them, again, these are your marketing emails, not notification emails or the alert emails that you may occasionally send. This is going to be your reply to emails from your marketing campaigns. You want to make sure that that is going to a real person, not marketing at. I still use, if you subscribe to anything that I put out there, you will notice it comes to my personal email address. So that, our subdomain, which is MG, mailgun, mg.orangenomad.com, that will actually, the reply to email address is my Orange Nomad email. So you want to make sure it's going to a real person. Again, it's just best practices. This is the last one, I promise. Keep you guys awake. So you need to have proof all of your emails. So especially the ones we're going to be giving you in all of the campaigns. We're going to be giving you all of the emails. There are things that you're going to need to change inside of almost all of the emails. And we highlight those with a great big red siren symbol or stop sign. Those are parts of those emails that you're going to want to edit. That way you're making sure you're not sending emails out with just the bulk templates. And this is, again, proof those, send test messages to yourself. It's super easy to do out of Growably. So Al said, yes, I'm confused with the Mailgun setup. My test messages from Growably shows Al Silva IT Pros at mg.silveritpros.com. Yes, what that is, Al, and again, if you want those threaded messages to go back into Growably, they need to be tagged. That's what I have, the mg.orangenomad.com. Those emails go back into Growably, but I see all of those. So you just want to make sure that the whole point of that is to make sure that you have a real person that sees those reply emails. Because I've seen it where people send things out where nobody's checking that shared email box, or that email box wasn't set up properly, so nobody sees those emails. So again, it's just one of those best practices that will make sure that you're actually not losing leads for people who reply back to you. So does that make sense, Al? Let me know. But yes, in order to get the threaded messages to go back into Growably, you want them to come from your mg.silveritpros.com. That way you see those replies, and then when you go into conversations, let's go inside here. When I go into conversations mode inside of Growably, my mouse is not working. Just having all kinds of fun tech stuff tonight. Let's see here. All right. There it goes. Okay, so when you go into conversations, that's where all of these are going to show up when people reply back. So hopefully that answers your question, Al. But yeah, anything that replies back, it's going to make sure that when you go into the contact record, so let's go look at Rusty here. So all of that conversation detail, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm zoomed in a little too much. Yeah, so all of those conversation threads will happen here. So that's where this will show up. So if it goes to your personal email address, it's not necessarily going to be seen in here. It's not going to be seen, as a matter of fact. But you just want to make sure somebody's doing that. So your Mac is rebelling at all of us PC. You're probably right, Stacy. Like I said, it's getting super warm now that I have the air conditioning off, so everything's heating up. I'm at 77 degrees here in the studio right now. It's getting a little toasty. System's getting a little testy with me too. So let's see here. That was my last best practice for Growably. So I'm going to open up Q&A. I wanted to leave a little more time than this, but I'm going to go rapid fire and just start asking questions. I'll happily go back into Growably and show you anything. Those of you who have generously decided to hang out with me live this evening, and we're pushing 1 a.m. for David, so we got to keep him awake. So, but yeah, let's go rapid fire. Any other questions that you have about anything we talked about tonight or Growably in general, let me know here. And let me know, too, if you would like us to do what type of training you would like us to cover in future episodes of these live streams. Because Nigel and I have kind of thought about, we would just want to do what's most beneficial to our members. But those of you I'm going to show you, if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to show you a couple things for those of you who are just getting started with Growably that may not have seen any of our other training videos as of yet. So I'm going to go back inside of Growably. So down here on the left-hand side, you're going to want to click on the Growably training button. And these are all of the white label getting started videos. And this is another project that's going to be right behind our website templates. Nigel has tasked me with this to improve this and make it a little bit easier for people to find things and to get up to speed, to get everybody up to speed on how to use the product so that there's less, kind of trial and error out there. So, all right, great. We got some questions in here. So let's just start right at the top here. Diane said you showed the workflow of campaigns. Can you go over that area again where we do the training? So yes, so you can do it a couple places. Like I said, Nigel and I are consolidating the two different white label training videos and things that Nigel has. So you can do it in a couple places. If you go to Growably training here, here's all of the videos. And Diane, here's let's go to workflows. So here are all of the different workflows and what those things mean. So you can see every single part of Growably has training on it that has videos. So this is how I would do the walkthrough of the workflow. And then, too, I wanted to point out another access that you guys have is if you click, let me go back here so people can see it. Up here, the little question mark icon, this is where you would get to the technical support for Growably. And again, this is just going to be things that are wrong with, the tool itself, not necessarily the campaigns. But there's also articles inside here. So here's different articles to Diane on workflows. So there's a bunch of, there's a lot more in here too. So workflow actions and triggers. So hopefully that'll help you kind of get started. There's a lot we can do, and there's a lot of things we're going to be rolling out with the campaigns to help you with workflows. So Al said, yes, train on creating a landing page that connects to a form and that kicks off an automation, unless I missed a training on that. So yeah, so that's one of the things that we are going to be rolling out for you, Al. Like the campaign that I showed you a little bit ago, the 7 cyber mistakes that most small businesses make. Let me see if we still have. Yes, I'm in the right one. So what we're going to have, Al, I'm going to cover this briefly, and if you can kind of go back and watch last month's Q&A call, because I covered this in depth, what's going to be there, and then we're going to do some more training videos on how to actually implement this campaign. So what you're going to have is landing pages. You're going to have all of the marketing automation and workflows and all of the emails that attach to it. So if I come in here, and here's our 7 cyber mistakes campaign, and let me zoom out a little bit here. So you guys, there we go. So there's your the free cheat sheet, and all of the appointment workflows are going to be built into that. So when I click in here, here's your entire workflow that kicks off all of the emails for this campaign. So this is the type of stuff we're going to be rolling out as you get access to campaigns. You're going to have all of the workflows are done for you. All of the emails are done for you. So if I go back in here to marketing and I click in emails and campaigns, actually let's go into templates. And then there's your 7 cyber mistakes campaign templates. And then here are all of your emails. So those are all going to be built for you. So you're going to get all of that, including the landing pages as well, Al. But that is a great question. Yep, here's your 7 cyber mistakes. So you're going to get you're going to get the funnel built out for you. You'll have an opt-in page, a thank you page, and a calendar booking page, which you can either use Growably or embed your Calendly link in there as well. But that's what you're going to get for each of the marketing campaigns that we're going to be rolling out with Growably. So you're going to get all of that, how to connect the dots. We're going to do the videos on how to connect the dots for yourself, how to change it to all of your branding. That's what Nigel's been working on, is automating as much as possible for that. So when we roll out a campaign and it goes into your Growably, it already has your logo, already has your colors, already has a lot of all of that stuff pre-filled for you. That way we're trying to cut down on as much of the work that you have to do to get these things implemented. So hopefully that helps. Let's see here. Stacy said, any of these things in the pipeline be able to interact with LinkedIn? I'd love to have a workflow around it. I feel that is better than IG or Facebook. Yes. Nigel, I'm working on something outside of the tech tribe right now. Nigel and I have talked about it. We're probably going to be providing a tribal perk as part of the LinkedIn training that I do, so that you can connect some of your LinkedIn efforts with Growably. But again, I'm not going to cover that on this webinar because it's going to be done initially outside of the tech tribe, but that may at some point be baked in there. Again, if we can get the pricing correctly for the service. So, but yes, I agree with you, Stacy. LinkedIn is where my peeps are as well. So yeah, I wrote pipeline, but I meant workflow. Yes, we're going to build some things in. I'm testing some things, of my own, to where we can take the LinkedIn training that you have access to on the Tech Tribe and to be able to help you connect all of the dots from LinkedIn into your Growably. So yeah, we're going to be working on that. Let's see. Jeff said, here's an example of one I did today. So I'm just going to, awesome. So Jeff, excellent. He gets the applause button today. Rock on, man. He's got his chat widget in there. He's got his landing page. So Jeff is rocking it. Love it. Love it. Excellent. Kudos to you, Jeff. So yeah, taking the work in there. So Jeff, you did that in Growably. So did you do the landing pages in Growably? What did you make the graphics with, Jeff? Just so I can let everybody know. But yeah, this looks stellar, my friend. Yeah, this is exactly what you want, and this is done in Growably. So awesome job, man. Yeah, kudos to you. I love seeing people take action. I love the colors too, by the way, Jeff. Fellow lover of orange. So let's see here. See, when will we have the funnels showing up in our portal? Great question, Diane. That's one of the things, like I said, I don't know whether you caught the first part of the call, the 7 mistakes campaign. Nigel and I have a call tomorrow evening about that. It is 98% done. We've got a few other things that we want to put together, kind of a few touch-up items, and then we're going to record some training videos, and then we're going to be rolling that out to everybody. Can't give you an exact date, but that is coming super, super, super soon. That's all I can tell you. But that is an awesome question. But again, you're going to get everything with that campaign, including a roadmap on how to use it, all the video training on how to use it. So Jeff said, yes, that was super easy to do. It includes a pop-up form and some workflow tied to it. So super basic. It was drag and drop. Yeah, and we're going to go even further, Jeff. Like I said, with the website templates, we're going to be baking a few things in to make this even easier, just to keep cranking out landing pages and content for you. You're going to be getting Canva templates on how to do this. So, Jeff, let me know. Let me see if you put that in the chat. What did you use to create the PDF? That way, like I said, if somebody asks, I can let them know. Let's see here. Any others? Al said, okay, excellent. So, glad we were able to answer your question. Jeff said, thanks. Copied backgrounds from our website for the look and feel from the main site. So awesome job. He did say the guides are Paul Green MSP Marketing Edge. So awesome job. You got your own branded content. It's using what you're already paying for. So excellent job. Any other questions? I know we're hitting 8:05 here, and I know it's after midnight for David's, but we appreciate you hanging out with us today. Any other things you would want us to cover on future trainings? Like I said, Nigel and I are looking at, initially we're going to do these once a month, but if there's more support for it and more requests for additional trainings that you'd like us to do in addition to once a month, we may go to a couple times a month. But we want to make sure that there's support from you great folks to be able to do that. So, all right, I'm going to hang out for a couple more minutes here as we wrap up. Thank you again for joining me live on this. Let's see, this is our third month we're doing these sessions on Growably. But thanks for hanging out. David, hopefully we didn't put you too far out of your sleep order for the week. Stacy, thank you so much for showing up. Cal, thank you for showing up. Before you leave, what was your number one takeaway from this show tonight? That way I can kind of take it at and customize. I've got another live stream we're going to be doing tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. But yeah, let me know what your number one takeaway from this training session was. Again, I always look to improve, and I love having feedback from all of you great folks out there. So yeah, Tom, thank you. Cal, we appreciate you hanging out. Al, love the orange. Rock on, man. David said, as it happens, Andrew, I was in the USA on the East Coast last week, so my body clock is 5 hours behind at the moment. Oh, man. Bummer, man. Hate resetting that clock. So Jeff said, awesome as usual, Andrew. Can't wait to see how this campaign is set up. The framework and workflows are what I'm really looking forward to seeing. Examples on how to get things set up. Thank you for that. So yeah, like I said, especially with this first one that we're going to be doing, Jeff, we're gonna really walk you through this with the training videos on how to set it up, and they're pretty much going to be a lot of the same, just different content as we roll out future campaigns. But as far as the setup on how to do everything, once you get in a rhythm of these first few, you'll be able to keep getting these cranked out. So Tom said, spending time cleaning up my contact list of your current clients, concerned if any of them complain about getting marketing emails. So again, do that nice little small batches of warm-up sequence from Growably, just to help you out on that one. Jeff, thanks for the thumbs up, man. David, thanks for the amazing session. Hopefully, like I said, thanks for staying up with me, man. It's been a good pickup ideas from other folks in the chat, as well as my good old self. So, Al, I agree with you, man. Tech Tribe is completely awesome. David said, I'll make a point of getting started before the next session. So, yeah, we're going to try to do these towards the beginning of the month. But like I said, if there's more folks show up, we get more support, and folks want specific training, we'll make sure that we get this included for you. So, thank you, Rick, for showing up. We appreciate that. But again, I'm excited for what we have coming. Like I said, you guys are going to be amazed. I'm sure you already are. I'm amazed at what Nigel provides out there for $49. If I had this as an MSP, man, I could have done some things. Between Nigel, Paul Green, and some others out there putting out some amazing stuff, you guys got some cool access to stuff for sure. Diane said, thanks for the intro. Hope to resolve the issue soon so we can move forward with that great product. So, yes, thank you. Thank you for the... Let me know if the technical issues, did the video get any better as we went forward? If not, let me know, because like I said, I'm going to reach out to Zoom. We should be streaming in full HD, at least at 720, not 360 or whatever craziness nonsense that was. So, but again, all right, nope, 360 the whole time. Oh, man, that stinks. All right, I'm going to have to raise a support ticket with the folks at Zoom and see what's up with that. So anyway, thanks again for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and bump off the air. If you want to hang out with me tomorrow, I'm going to be back on the air here at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And if we get any other questions that come into the tribe overnight, I'll be sure to put these in the stream for tomorrow. So But thanks again. I will see you next month, or if I don't see you before then, inside the tribe. Thank you very much for all you do for the channel, and I will see you next month. Take care.